the biggest thing that everybody is like wanting to save money on is school supplies. There's school supplies. There's a lot of deals going on around, which I'll kind of go over a few of them. They change so often though, so make sure to check websites and all that good stuff just to make sure that you're up to date. I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 second. So here is. So can everybody see this?
Yep.
Okay. So I brought up this, and we'll link it as well whenever we post this video, is all of these are all of the different events that are going on before school. Some of them are Soon as Sunday, some of them, there's August 2nd, but these are amazing events that you can get free school supplies. I think I saw one with like a hair event where you could get your kids' haircut, tons of stuff, even for teachers' kits. So definitely look into these. There's so many resources everywhere.
Hey y'all, Katie here, and welcome to Make Dollars Make Sense, the podcast that helps you teach your child financial literacy. Catch us here once per month on your favorite podcast platform. Just do a quick search for MOMnation Talk Radio. Enjoy the show.
Hey, everybody. We are back with another episode of Make Dollars Make Sense with my lovely co-host, the super saver extraordinaire, Mama Sonia. Woo woo. Welcome, Sonia. How are you?
Hi. I'm good. Back back from vacation. So I'm excited to now stop spending money. So
and dive into back to school, right?
Yes, which is our topic today. So I'm super excited to share all of my tips and tricks with you guys.
Sweet. So Sonia's going to be talking about just a couple of things that we can do as mamas to save ourselves a little bit of dough as we slide into the back to school season. I know for those of you, of course, this podcast goes across the country. And I know for those of you, you're like, what? It's still summer. What do you mean back to school? But here in Arizona, which is where we are based, we are going back to school. Some of us start this week. I know my kiddo starts in 2 weeks. When does yours start?
The 4th. So almost.
Yeah. So in a couple of weeks as well. So it's time. It's upon us.
Yeah, it's crazy how fast it went by too. And now it's nice because it's so hot out that now our kids can be in school instead of being at home just bugging us for a smoothie or a snack every 10 seconds. So
or an icy pop or dump a cold bucket of water on their head, whatever.
Right.
So let's dive into it. Sonia, what you got for tips for us today?
Yeah, well, the biggest thing that everybody is like wanting to save money on is school supplies. There's school supplies. There's a lot of deals going on around, which I'll kind of go over a few of them. They change so often though, so make sure to check websites and all that good stuff just to make sure that you're up to date. I'm going to share my screen. Give me 1 second. So here is. So can everybody see this?
Yep.
Okay, so I brought up this, and we'll link it as well whenever we post this video, is all of these are all of the different events that are going on before school. Some of them are Soon as Sunday, some of them, there's August 2nd, but these are amazing events that you can get free school supplies. I think I saw one with like a hair event where you could get your kids' haircut, tons of stuff, even for teachers' kits. So definitely look into these. There's so many resources everywhere for there's just so many resources everywhere for school supplies and help filling out forms and all that good stuff. So I don't know, do you have anything, Katie, that you that you've noticed that you really want to save on, like for school, like for your school supplies? Like, what are the big ticket items?
I would say school supplies are definitely it. I mean, obviously, then we get into school clothes, right? And I find for some, like I have a boy, I know you do too, and I find that shoes are like the biggest expense when we're going clothes shopping. So I would say the top of my list as far as most expensive things are going to be shoes. You can spend, I mean, this is ridiculous. I would never do this, but you can spend like up to $400 for a backpack, which is just absolutely insane to me. But a regular backpack that's gonna make it through the year, because let's face it, I have a 9-year-old boy and he's not exactly super gentle with his stuff. So something that's gonna make it through the year, I mean, I'm dropping $30 at least on, I'm feeling. And then, in this day and age, which is different than when I was in school, I don't know if it's the same for you, Sonia, because you're so much younger. But it's the headphones and the electronics. And so I would say that those are kind of at the top of the list for us.
Yeah. You know where I found some good headphones is that Five Below place.
Oh, no kidding.
Whenever I was prepping for this, I didn't even think to, Five Below is awesome. I don't have their website up or anything, but they have a lot of cool little things. And one of the things that I found were the headphones, because my son has some that he has to keep at school, and then he has some for at home.
Needs a pair at home. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's great. You pretty much need to have two, because God forbid they lose their home ones and don't have them at school. But yeah, Five Below has great prices on some really good ones, and there's a couple other places that have great prices. But so let me share with you.
And while you're sharing that, I just wanted to point out that I see on your list here that some of these resources are giveaways. So if your budget is super, super tight and there is no room in your budget for school supplies, then definitely do a ton of research. It might not even take a ton of research, honestly, to find some resources where you can get, backpacks, where you can get school supplies, that kind of thing. I know with MOMnation, we just did our annual backpack drive, and we filled 40 backpacks full of school supplies. And I just finished handing those out this past week. So those are all out to their recipients. And so look for, organizations like MOMnation or local churches, things like that. And you may be surprised at what you can connect with.
Yeah. There's so many resources. And this one is these are just some of the ones that I showed you are just some of the ones that they've kind of picked and chosen. But everywhere I look during, the month before school starts is always like backpack drive here, backpack drive there. And on the other side of those backpack drives are where they give them. So many resources. If you can't find them by Google, reach out to your district. Every district has a department that deals with helping families that need backpacks, that need help with pretty much anything, anything that has to do with school, try to help you, with bus routes, all of that good stuff. So reach out to them. Don't be afraid to ask, because there's so many different resources.
For sure.
So here is, let me see, talking about some of those, like here's the commercial resources are your big box stores. So these are some of the deals right now, but like I said, always double check, but so many places are having good deals. Walmart right now, they're doing things where a lot of their popular school supplies, like the pencils, the crayons, notebooks, are the same price as last year. Walmart wanted to kind of do something to battle inflation, because everything's just so much more expensive. So they're having a lot of great deals.
That's awesome. Oh, those glue sticks are 50 cents. Jeez.
I know, crazy. So yeah, there's these one, and then look at the crayons for the 24. Usually the 12 is already a buck.
Yeah, that's usually over a buck, maybe $2 for that, or close to $2 for a box of 24. So that's awesome.
Yeah, and it's crazy. So I don't know anybody else's experience, but with mine, the younger that the kids are, the more expensive that their school supply list is. And make sure whenever you get those school supply lists, what I found too, is I try to make good communication with the teacher. As soon as I know who the teacher is, I try to reach out or email and see if they have a specific school supply list instead of the general school one, because some schools do separate ones and you don't want to overbuy.
Right.
So,
because then if you don't know that,
yeah,
that's a really good point. You can totally overbuy.
Yeah, absolutely. And you don't need to buy, there's some you'll have some schools that'll say, okay, you can't do regular pencils. You have to do those I can't even say the word, Ticonderoga, those like Ticonderoga pencils, you have to do those, which, you know, for some people on a budget, that could really hurt. So make sure to pay attention to that. If it just says crayons, you don't have to, I mean, these are a great deal for Crayola, but there's also Rose Art. Like you don't have to buy for your 8-year-old, like cream of the crop supplies that they're going to end up breaking anyways. So just be mindful of that. I know we want to get the best for our kids, but sometimes less is more. So
yeah, totally agree.
So yeah, so there's Walmart there, Staples. So Staples is kind of, they don't have, I thought that I had their school things up, but Staples doesn't have a lot of great deals on like the supply, like the like pencils, crayons, but paper and notebooks. I've found Staples always has great deals on those, mostly for your younger kids who need like that big pack of copy paper or construction paper. They have deals on those. I love Target, like a lot of other people, because they have a lot of, mostly like my teenager, she's a little bit bougie and she likes nice looking things. Right now she's really into the boho stuff. So Target has a lot of the cool stuff. You can let your kids pick stuff and they're still on deals. So that's why I like Target.
Oh, water bottles. I forgot about that. That it can get expensive too.
Yes.
Because if you have a kid like my kid, love them to death, but where's your water bottle? I don't know. Oh.
They lose everything. Like last year towards the end of school, my son's school along the whole front lobby, it was about 30 feet long.
Of lost and found?
It was ridiculous. And weirdly enough, Austin did not have anything there. But you know what helped? Labels. Labels help.
Yeah.
Labels always help. Or I got him like a custom water bottle that said his name on it. Because it'll, like, if somebody finds it, doesn't go into lost and found, they see it says Austin and his last name on there, and they take it to the office and it gets taken back. So
that's a smart idea. Label.
Yes. So anywho, so yeah, so then there's that. Another big thing with school and getting ready for school is lunch.
Oh, yes, lunch.
Lunch drives me crazy. So everybody does things different. I would love to be this kind of mom. I would love to.
That preps all the lunches and packs lunches and a cute little pearl necklace and some heels. Yeah, I would love to be that mom too.
But off subject, I know I go on tangents sometimes, but I heard this funny like quote the other day of why us as adults right now, our generation loves charcuterie boards. And it's because we're the generation that grew up with Lunchables. So like, it's like the fancy ones.
That's funny.
Anyways, I thought that was fun. But if you are this kind of mom, which I envy you so much,
mom goals.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of great websites like this one. I like the Super Healthy Kids one. I went through like a phase for like 3 weeks that I did packed lunches. And this website always helped me. They have a lot of great ideas from what you put in there to how to buy them for like bulk buying, freezing, cool little tips and tricks. So definitely Google some ideas. But I know that on our previous show, I've talked about how I was a single mom. And I was on food stamps. I really tried to take advantage of what I could to give me a leg up to help me where I am now. I took advantage of those, of those programs. But one of the things that a lot of people don't know is to go to this website for food and nutrition. If you're in Mesa, but every district has theirs. And there's a button here for your meal applications. They have income limits. Yeah, and you could get free or reduced lunch because lunch adds up. It's like, I know at my daughter's school, it's like $3 a day. And that really does add up. So if you were gonna do your meal application, make sure to do it ASAP. Like yesterday, it does take a few days to go into effect. So you want to make sure that before school starts, some people have already started just to make sure that you get this done. Super, super important. Don't wait for the school to bug you. So yeah, so check on that. And then if you don't have this, just make sure to, one of the to-do lists that I always like to remind people is to make sure to load up their school account. So my school's really cool that they have, my kids' school's really cool that they have an account that it rolls over from last year. So I'm pretty good for this year.
Nice.
Yeah, my son was a minimalist last year. My daughter, not so much. Hers has like a third of, she got all the extra stuff all the time. But yeah, just make sure that that has money in it, or that you set up the account. Because then if you're like scrambling day of, I know that if for first day and then you're just like, oh, I need $1, and who carries that much like any cash anymore?
Right. It's so true.
Yeah. So anywho, so yeah, so that's, I mean, for lunch. Last thing is school clothes. And this could be crazy expensive. So for school clothes, I'll show you this one tab and then I'll exit out so you can see Katie and I big. Is kid to kid. This is only for your younger kids. So younger kids about 10 to 12 and under. This is a great resource. So it's secondhand clothes. But it's great secondhand clothes. They're super picky. And I don't know, like how quickly does Jax go through his pants?
Unreal. You know, this year has been different than any other year. And I don't know if he's in some sort of spurt or something, but it's pants for sure. But I just cut him into shorts. And so then we're good. Which he kind of likes, but it's shoes, going through shoes like a crazy person.
Yeah. Yeah, it's shoes, and then they're staining their shirts with if they have art activities or whatever. It's just so like they go through clothes a lot. So for my teenager, I kind of splurge on her because like she has to be the cool kid. So I try to, but for my 8-year-old, you could get some really nice like name brand stuff from kid to kid. So that's a story I always like to highlight, but there are a lot of other great places that have sales. Outlet malls are my favorite. Like the outlet mall that's right next to you. It's
Arizona Mills.
Awatuki, the one by Waldorf's Pass. So that one, the premium outlets, those ones are great. They always have great deals, and you could get, tons of t-shirts. What I did with Austin, because he has ADHD, and I'm sure you know this, Katie, like it's organization it could be either their best friend or like a huge struggle depending on how you approach it with them. So if I don't prep Austin stuff, or if I don't have him prep it, it's just
a train wreck. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't
I've
work.
been on that train wreck before.
Yeah. So I saw this cool thing. I was trying to find the link that so I could show you more of a visual, but this lady got this. It's those things that you hang over your door to hold your shoes. It's like, like plastic-y sort of thing. So she got her son's, like his pants or shorts, laid a shirt on top of them, laid underwear and socks, rolled it and tucked it in there. And then she put labels for like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
That's a great idea.
Yeah. How long can I like maintain that? I don't know, but I'm gonna try it. So
yeah, that's a great idea.
And she said that she did it every week. And I know like Austin's the kind of kid that he likes doing those things on his own. So I think I might have him try to say, okay, like here's your Sunday to-do list. Get your clothes ready for the week. And see how that goes.
Yeah, you roll them up and stick them in, give them a little incentive at the end, and away we go. Tell me how that ends up working. Yeah, I think that's a really great idea. A couple of other things that, I've heard some other moms say, and some things that I've done myself is I know Prime Day on Amazon just happened. But on Prime Day, I was on there looking for school clothes, and I actually got my kid likes button down, kind of collared button down or polos. He's real fancy. He's nothing like his parents because we are not fancy, but he's way fancy. I don't know where he gets it, but he dresses very sharp. It's important to him. He does. And so he got 2 polos, 3 button down shirts, 4 button down shirts, and 2 pairs of really nice Levi cargo shorts, a whole package of socks, and a whole package of underwear. I got him for like just a little over $100. It really wasn't much more. Yeah. And so I was that was pretty good, because what I do with him, because he does grow so much, and I know a lot of other moms do this too, is I don't set out to, back to school, like get his whole wardrobe new. It's not really how it works. Like for us, I get him a couple of pieces so that he, has something new and it's exciting and whatever. But we don't replace his entire wardrobe, because throughout the year, as I come upon sales, as he grows out of things like that, like I'm constantly replenishing it at that point. Now, here in Arizona, we have 2 seasons. We have hot and not hot. And so, oftentimes the hot clothes kind of have a bit more of a lifespan than, for instance, if we were in colder weather states. So I toss a sweatshirt over his t-shirt, for instance. He wears shorts until December practically. You know what I mean? Like stuff like that. So it's a little bit different here, I know, than in other regions of the country, but that's kind of what we do. We just mostly do it throughout the year, get him a few little pieces for back to school, and he's fine with that. Hasn't complained yet.
Yeah, no. And then like with me, I have a big thing like with my daughter and her, like what's hip every other month. And that's hard with her. So what we've been doing, and what's a good thing, and we started doing it with Austin, is they do chores and we give them allowances. And that's been helping a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Let me know how you keep your son with ADHD on track for chores, because that's been a little bit of a struggle over at my house. And what he does, this is so funny. So he'll do that. And he'll do his chores and he'll build up his allowance and he'll make a bunch. And then he'll feel like, well, I got money now, so I don't need to do chores anymore. And I'm like, no, bro, it's not how it works. It's not how it works.
Yeah, in Austin's kind of weird whenever it comes to, like, as long as he has like a to-do list and timers, to-do list and timers are like are golden with him. And as long as but that's the thing, is like I have to make sure to like always do, or like, like during the summer, like I'm a super lax parent. And sometimes I get slack, like on like his, like during the middle of the summer, he really doesn't have like a bedtime, as long as if we need to get up like at 8 a.m, I just tell him like, hey, I don't want to hear complaining. If you're going to get up at 8, that's, you need to be awake. So if you go to bed whenever, just don't, make sure it doesn't affect you the next day. And then towards the end, like the last few weeks, then I'll kind of every week I'll just be like, okay, I'll start at midnight, and then I'll go to 11. Like last night I made him go to sleep at 10
to get him back into the routine.
Because he really needs that. And I get so lax during the summer that I'm just like, you do you. And, with having 3 kids, and it's crazy because I thought having the 3 kids would make this having to do with school, like the back to school and all the with school sports and all that stuff, to deal with it, make it easier, since I have the 19-month-old, that 8-year-old, and then my 15-year-old. But those are like the 3 most common, well, not the younger one, but Austin and Soraya, they're both like the most difficult ages. So it's like 2 different spectrums. It's hard to go shopping together. So when we go shopping together, my husband takes Austin and I take Soraya. We kind of just split up because we can't
divide and conquer.
Yeah. So, and that's the thing too, is just make sure before school to get them, to get them back on their schedules and to get all the routines back. I'm trying to think of any other like back to school tips that I'd like to do, like emergency contacts. I have a huge family, like the poor admin at my kids' school. Like I need another paper for like the people that pick my children up. School security nowadays, with everything going on in the world is crazy at both of my kids' schools. I can't get into the building of my son's school. I have to press a doorbell, and then they talk to you and they verify you, and then they open the door.
Good.
So like, it's like they're really big with like security. And so like to make sure that all of your emergency contacts, your pickups, all of your address information, if you moved, everything is updated in their system. So make sure that is after for your older school, for your like high school kids, make sure that their fees are paid. If they want to do any sports, they can't do sports if they have like a science class fee that needs to be paid. Get their sports, their get their physical done. So you get ready for that. Make sure they're, for the younger kids, any after school activities. Like I know there's, I think it's, what is it? Explore in Mesa. And then in Gilbert, I forgot what Gilbert's is, but they have like the after school thing to make sure that is. I saw a cool one where they pick up your kids and they take them to like karate classes and then do their homework.
Nice. Very nice. I love this advice, and how I dial it back to saving money, which is the topic of today, is if you are organized, then you're not having to be reactive.
Yes.
Right. And you're not having to get that frantic phone call from your kid. Oh my gosh, mom, I can't sign up for sports because my science fee hasn't been paid, or whatever the case may be. And now for us, for instance, so that pulls us out of work, that pulls us away from our clients. Now we have to go and handle this. So it's saving time, which, I mean, this day and age, time is money, man.
It is. No, it definitely is. So yeah. And for any of these school fees, like I said, like 3 times already, reach out to the school if you have a hard time paying. I was living like not even paycheck to paycheck. I was a server and living day to day, and I had a lot of struggles with the kids, and there was fees, and there were all these things that I had to pay for. Reach out to the school. They have so many different resources to help give you a grant or payment plans or whatever they do. If the district doesn't have it, the state does. Like even at the federal level, they have federal grants for kids. Mostly reach out to these if you have a child. Like one of my friends, she has her son has autism, and she just got her grant to one of the best autism schools in Gilbert. And so she reached out to them because money should never have to keep you from your kids having a great time of school or the type of education that they get. So everybody should be entitled to have that experience and that education. So that's why those resources are out there.
Totally agree. And these are not things that you might not know about, guys, or these are things that you might not know about that are available. So if you find yourself in that situation, you feel like, hey, I could really use a hand up, dig, and ask questions, because that's the only way that you're going to find it. I think that is solid. That is such gold advice right there, Sonia. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, I love how you used hand up instead of handout, because a lot of people their pride gets in the way, but really, like, I took advantage of, you name it, I took advantage of it. And now I'm happy I'm not in a place where I need to right now, but I love educating people to take advantage of those.
Well, now you can give back. So you went through your thing, you experienced your thing, you received the hand up, and now you can turn around and pay it forward. And I think that's the most beautiful kind of end of the cycle, or you know what I'm saying? Like it just comes full circle.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Sonia. We love having you here every month with your money saving tips. We know she is our money girl and we love her. If you want to check out any of our previous episodes, go ahead over to our YouTube channel. It is at MOMnation USA. That is our handle. You can find us on your favorite podcast channel. Also, if you prefer the podcast version versus the video version, and we are MOMnation Talk Radio, just do a quick search and you can find our channel. Until next time, thank you, Sonia.
Bye.
Bye.